All right, well, welcome to the R&R Show. Sit back and relax and enjoy the best little sports show ever. I'm your host, Michael Roope, and to the left of me is my co-host, William Rumsey. Hello, William.
Who day?
All right, well, you say who day, but today we're going to talk a little Red Legs. We got opening day right around the corner. Football season is wrapping up this weekend, and we thought we'd talk about our beloved Reds.
How about them Red Legs? We actually have, it's weird to say it, expectations this year.
We do. I mean, obviously, coming off last year, a young team projected to lose over 100 games, and obviously they surprised all the pundits and the R&R show ourselves.
In a playoff race until the last week of the season for that team last year was quite an accomplishment.
Amazing. So, that blew our minds away.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got an infusion of young talent, and we got to give a lot of credit to the front office because a lot of those trades that they had made that everybody's grumbling about, they've hit on basically almost every one of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's from where we thought the front office was, 3-4 years ago. We were like, what in the hell are they doing? Now, the economics of baseball, obviously keeps the Reds from doing a lot of things that we want them to do. But I thought the low point is when they traded Luis Castillo.
Yeah.
But they got a couple prospects out of that should,
end up, hitting. Yeah.
We're excited. I mean, they actually signed some free agents.
Yep. Well, and speaking of that, I was very pumped with the obviously the main free agent they got was Montaz. Because he was the hot commodity just a few short years ago, coming off just a stellar year, and down the stretch he got traded to the Yankees. But obviously when the Yankees got him, it was a little bit of a damaged goods. But all reports are that he's healthy now.
That is quite the lottery ticket.
Yeah,
because he had shoulder issues last year, so he didn't. I don't even know if he pitched last year. So, but a couple years ago he was really, really good. Hopefully they can lightning in a bottle. Let's see what he has.
If we get the Montez from a couple years ago, I mean, he's the hammer that we're looking for.
Yep.
I wish they would have got one more. I know we kicked the tires on a few of them, and I still think the Reds are in a position that they will, but I don't think they want to make any moves more until like the trade deadline.
No, they signed who was it? Nick Martinez.
Yeah.
They got some, Hunter Green, Lodolo, Ashcraft, Abbott. I mean, they've got a couple other guys. I think Connor Phillips.
I mean,
they've got some guys that a lot of throw the dart against the wall. See what they've got.
Well, they got a lot of exposure last year because the staff was just getting injured. It felt like every other, and a lot of them performed well. Abbott being the main one, he looked like a good number 2 starter. For any team. So as long as we get Green and Lodolo healthy, I think the Reds have a good staff.
Yeah, I think Green and Lodolo are the keys.
Yeah,
I mean they have to perform, step up, and hopefully they will. I mean. So, what about, you said the big signing was Montas. We also signed Candelario.
Yeah.
3 years. That was the biggest surprise of the offseason for me.
Yeah.
Because, he's an infielder.
Yeah.
And
we got a ton of them.
Yeah, so I just thought, that they would probably spend that money on pitching, but, they signed him.
I think there's just been so many injuries, over the past few years. I just think the Reds...
Yeah.
They want to have a lot of them. They just signed India to a 2-year extension. But, I don't put too much stock into that because as long as he doesn't have a no trade clause, I could see the Reds moving one of the pieces at the trade deadline probably for another pitcher.
Yeah, and I think that the more I thought about the Candelario signing, it was, they've got a lot of young guys.
Yep.
So those guys can go into a sophomore slump or get dinged up. And Candelario, he's a professional hitter. I mean, I think he's 30. He had a good year last year. Is he a switch hitter?
I think so. I
think he's a switch hitter, so he can play, I think, first and third, or he can DH. So, all in all, on the surface, I was like, why didn't they get pitching? But the more I thought about it, looked into it, I think it was a good signing.
It's just what makes the Reds so exciting. They're so young, and they don't know what they don't know, and they never give up. It felt like there was so many come from behind wins with the Red Legs. They're young, they're fresh. There's lots of running on the base path.
Yeah,
taking the extra base and a lot of stolen bases. That's what makes it so exciting. And then obviously with our bullpen, we got Diaz now. He kind of struggled a little bit down the stretch, but I think he's a top frontline reliever that the Redlegs has. So I'm expecting a big year out of it.
I think they signed a couple relievers too.
Yeah,
not closers, but Pagan.
But they needed it because there was not much of a bridge between whatever starter gave us to Diaz.
I think they have kind of the theme is they have depth.
Yeah.
Depth with talent, like Friedel in center field. They've got Benson. They've got a lot of guys, and in a long season,
I like the Benson. Benson was just a solid little, guy. Obviously, my son's Xander's favorite player, McLean. I cannot wait to have a full healthy season out of him. Obviously, De La Cruz is the big guy that everybody's excited about.
What about his strikeouts? Is he going to improve upon that this year?
I hope a little bit. I mean, but our the guy that he's often compared to that I have a lot of pictures of is Eric Davis. Eric Davis struck out a lot, but boy, when he put that ball in play, on the base pass or hitting it out of the stadium. But man, De La Cruz just feels like a whole nother level.
Yeah, when they were hitting last year and that 12-game winning streak, Cincinnati was electric. It reminded me of the Bengals run a couple years in the Super Bowl, and it was just.
Did you go down during any of those?
I don't think I went to a Reds game, but I can't remember if it was.
I ended up going to during that stretch towards the end of it.
Thanks for the invite.
Well, it was a family day for the Roope.
Wait, I'm not family at this point. Damn, we've done about.
I will say the stadium was packed, and we actually got Abbott pitching, and he threw just a gem. I want to say it was against the Padres.
That's cool.
Which was very cool. Just the whole dynamic of all of it.
But you hit the nail. I mean, when we went down, it was packed, and there was just a different. Like I hadn't felt that
for a long
time. It was a long time.
I think cool. The last time I felt that way was when was going into the postseason when. What's his name? Halladay did the no-hitter.
Dude, that was Halladay threw the no-hitter. Then they came back to Cincinnati, and I went to the game. It was a 5-game series.
Yeah, so
they got swept. I saw Cole Hamels pitch, and he didn't let anybody pass second base. I was like, "This is awful."
Yeah, I mean, because between those two, I think they had like one.
It was bad.
It was bad.
It was kind of, and then. A couple years ago, when I think it was the COVID year, they went to the playoffs. I think they got shut out both games.
Mustered like barely.
It's like 4 hits in 2 games.
It's not been good lately, so it would be nice. And I think we're in a good division.
Correct.
To make some noise, be someone because the Brewers are obviously sellers now. They got rid of Burns. The Cardinals have been just a mess. I don't think they have any pitching.
Sonny Gray.
Oh, they did get him, which
Lance Lynn. I mean,
it's just But then you got the Cubbies, which they surprised a lot of people themselves last year. I think that will be our main, obviously team to kind of hedge our bets. Yep.
Yeah, and then the Pirates.
Yeah, they got some pieces. They got O'Neill Cruz. They got Bednar. They got the Brian Reynolds. I mean, they got a few.
And they took Skeens, #1 pick last year, so he might be up.
I would not be shocked if their closer got dealt if they fall. Yeah, which he's a stud. He would be awesome to be in the Redlegs with him and Diaz, the new Nasty Boys.
Oh God!
Oh, are we already? We're lobbying for it. I like it. I like it.
I like that.
So, what do you think the Redlegs will do? You think that we'll punch our ticket to the postseason?
Who knows with baseball? It's tough to predict, but I think that they'll either get in the wild card or they'll win the division outright.
Yeah,
I do. I think they've got the talent. I think they've got the depth.
It all gets down. Then we gotta go up against some monsters like the Dodgers, the Phillies. I mean
the Braves.
Those 3 teams are like juggernauts.
But you know what? In a series when things get weird, shorts, they can make a run.
Yep, we like when things get weird. So, but no, but to your point,
into that one.
But to your point, I think the Reds will make here's how I see playing out. The 3 teams we just mentioned making the playoffs, the Reds, and then 1 or 2, however many there is now. But I think the Reds will get another frontline starter right before trade deadline.
Okay.
And then, like you said, short series, really, it gets them to 2 pitchers.
Yeah.
If Montez comes back to form and either of the other guys, take another step forward, or we bring another hammer in, it could be fun.
Who do we start off at home this year? I mean,
We always do.
okay.
You don't know that?
I knew that.
Whoa.
First of all, we used to always have
The
very first game,
But
they changed things.
But
through the year.
we always start.
Okay. Who do we start home against?
Have no clue.
How do you not know that?
Well, I know we started at home. I'm
right.
one up on you.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But that being said, I mean, that's a good point, though. Hopefully there are some easy teams to get off to a good start, get our momentum.
That's what
Let's not let it be the Braves or the Dodgers.
No. Let's look that up.
All right, so please hold on.
Talk to him about something.
Well, me personally, guys, I'm excited about the beloved Redlegs.
What do you think about David Bell?
David Bell, I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but I feel like I'm not a huge fan of either Zach Taylor or David Bell. But, I think it's more the players obviously getting us to this point. But I will say this. I do like that David Bell lets the Redlegs run. I mean, that's it makes it a lot more fun when he's got them sending. So as William, who we got?
We open up March 28th against the Nationals.
Perfect.
Yeah, at Washington.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah, I was like, Washington.
But then we go Philly, and then the Mets.
Mets are down.
Okay.
So Philly's going to be a tough one, but the Nationals, man, I don't think we could ask for a better team to start off against.
We need to start off strong.
Yeah, if we could sweep, how many game series?
A 3-game set.
Let's just say we sweep that series.
Yeah, I like a sweep.
Wow.
I'll start off with a sweep.
Yeah, get the mojo.
Then we go to Philly for 3 games.
If we could just
get 2 out of 3.
Well, even 1 out of 3 will be a 4-2.
So they have Philly. Maybe we'll miss their studs.
We're going to miss. I was just getting ready to say we're going to be their 4th and 5th starter.
So we miss Wheeler and maybe Nola.
Yeah. But Nola's he gets
he didn't have a great year last year.
So that being said, then who was after that?
The Mets.
We're golden. They don't have anybody.
Yeah. Okay. So we're off to the races.
Sounds like we're getting off to an 8-2 start.
There
you go. Mark it.
I like
but
it.
Again, we're going to really pump up the R&R show this year. We're going to get back. Yeah, we're getting
Let's
back.
Do it.
We're getting back to our roots here. We're going to be.
I like it.
And maybe bring back the get them out of here segments.
Do we want to throw anybody out of here right now?
Who will it be?
Patrick Mahomes' dad.
Get him out of here. That's
or
a
his
good
whole
one.
family.
Yeah, I think we can
Jackson
we'll get Jack. Well, it's funny as Taylor has now entered the scene. You notice when they show the press box, Jackson's now back in the back.
He's creeping.
Yeah,
They show his creepy ass back.
Yeah,
there.
he's
I'm
in the
like,
back. He's not in the front.
No.
So they, Taylor probably bodyguards are like, keep your little creepy ass back here.
I did see that Brittany Mahomes is going to be in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, we'll talk about that off camera.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time, and go Redlegs. All right.
Redlegs.